Hello and welcome to my pitch of Teach Me My World. Teach Me My World is a trivia game about our environment. It teaches you about the environment too. What does the player do? Well, since the game is a trivia and about the environment, the game will be consisting of answering questions. A way to keep the player in flow is by having bonus games. This is where the player can interact with the game. The bonus games will be fighting wild animals like the picture of the bear and the player. What is the player's goal? The player's goal is to reach as far as they can on the map of Teach Me My World. Another goal is to have a streak. When the player is answering questions correctly in a row, they earn a streak. The streak will give the player credits. This is to purchase other worlds for them to look at, or even power-ups. Once the player has reached their goal of stage 1, they will enter a second stage. This second stage holds harder questions that the player will need to answer. What are the player's obstacles? Wrong answers will send the player back to the previous spot of the map. There is a timer that the player will need to pay attention to answer the questions. Occasionally, hard questions will pop up for the player, so they have a challenge to work against when they are playing the game. The player will face against monsters or animals during the bonus games. What are the rules? The player will have a time limit. When this time limit is reached, the player will lose the question and have to move back a space. Another rule is when the player leaves the app, they will lose the question. What I mean by that is that the player will have a different question when they leave the game, so they can't cheat. What is the theme? Forests are the main theme of this game and other environments that the players might run across, like beaches or creeks. For the second stage of the game is a dream world full of lights and effects that is that of a fairy tale. This is so that the player feels accomplished in making it that far. Although the questions will still be about the environment, it will still be visually pleasing for the player. What is the viewing perspective? This is a 2D setting, and the player will play the game shown on the screen of the environment that they are in and the questions they answer. When they are not part of this, they are in the menu, which is a bird's eye view of the map. They can scroll to see where they are on the map. Bonus games, however, is undecided, but it might be a 3D scene that the player may move around in. Similar games. Similar games to Teach Me My World are Trivia Crack, as the questions from that game will be played and answered like Teach Me My World. Another game that is similar to is Two Dots, as their map is what I envision Teach Me My World would be played like from the menu. What are the risks in making this idea? Some risks that I might run into is not having enough questions for the player, so might not be randomized all the time. Another risk that I might run into is the player isn't in flow, as in there might not be enough for the player to do, and which makes it fun. And lastly, the player might get frustrated when they cannot answer questions, and this will turn the player away from the game. This is my first pitch for Teach Me My World. Hope you enjoy it.